Hi all, Heber here. So today we're taking out the Yoshino, and I just wanted to show you what the differences are with the new epic modification changes, where instead of having to do 50 main battery hits, you now just have to do, or just have to do, in quotes, 30,000 damage, and then every 30,000 damage your level will go up 1 on your epic mod. So this game here is a pretty good example of how unfair this mod here is, or at least was on its old incarnation on Yoshino, because Yoshino is fairly slowly like a reloading cruiser, and it's rare that you get the mod above 1 with this ship here. It's actually very rare, because you will need 100 hits to get it up to 2, and that's fairly unusual in Yoshino. So this battle here is a pretty good example, I think. So on the way into A-Cap here, we already removed the Minotaur, we put him out of his misery, and still we only got 5 hits with 5 minutes gone on the game. And also we haven't done much really. And the thing with Yoshino is that I tend to get a lot of my damage, maybe not 50%, but 30 to 40% each battle using my torpedoes. Because I play this a lot like my Atago, and once I get an opportunity to use my torpedoes, I certainly go for it, because wow, you have 16 of them on this thing here, and they're 20-kilometer range, and they're just great, so you can really do some good damage with them. So it's a powerful ship, and it just doesn't get it doesn't take full advantage of the epic mods the way they used to be, but luckily that's changed. And it does mean that, for example, Minotaur, it's a little bit harder to get it maxed on that ship, because before you just need 50 hits, which is very, very easy. In Minotaur, you'll get 200 hits in no time in that ship. But now you actually have to do damage. So while it's still easy to get up to 3 and 4, but you don't usually max it out to 5 like I usually did all the time back when the mod used in the old way. But I still think it's a better solution, because ships like Yoshino will now actually be able to make use of the epic mods, because you get lots of damage in Yoshino, but you usually don't get many shell hits, and even if you do, like I said earlier, you only get it up to modification 1, maybe 2. I don't think I've ever had it higher than that. So we've got a good example here. We're getting pushed by an almost full health Yamato here, and obviously this is a perfect opportunity to use torpedoes, because we're in a confined space, and there's no escape for this humongous battleship in here. So we just need to make sure that he's finishing his mistake here. That's the art of war by Sun Tzu is like, never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. And this Yamato here is definitely making a mistake. I don't know why he's pushing in here against the Yoshino. I mean, that's pretty much suicide. But anyway, taking this battleship out here means that I'm not gonna get many shell hits. See, I got what, like 4 or something like that. And there's still like 60-70,000 hit points in this Yamato here, and the torpedoes are gonna take care of it. But I'm not actually using my guns, so the epic modification isn't really gonna get anything out of this, which is kind of a shame. So the torps finish him off, and that's it. But we still only at 14 shell hits, and half the game gone pretty much. So this is why that the changes to the epic modifications is a really good idea. And it might hurt ships like Minotaur a little bit, but ships like Yoshino here, it's actually going to help a lot. Because with this amount of damage here, I'm almost about to hit my 3rd level on the epic mod, had this video been shot today and not before the last update. This way, the epic mods are a lot more fair, I believe, because it doesn't matter how fast your ship fires, it's all about the damage you're doing. So like it says, you can do the damage with torpedoes and fires and whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you do damage, your epic mod will, increase. And, with this particular mod, that means that you will increase your reload, or decrease, whatever you want to call it. And with this build here, I believe I have a 17 second reload, something along those lines. And if I max out my epic mod here, I can cut almost 2 seconds of it, which is huge on Yoshino, because this ship hits hard. So a 2 second reload is great on this ship here. And on Minotaur, I use the range mod instead, so I can get the mod, like the range, up from about just under 16 kilometers to almost 18 kilometers once it's maxed. So I think that works excellent on those two ships, and I'm very happy that Yoshino now I'm actually able to max out that modification. Like I said before, it's very rare that you will get 250 hits in Yoshino. I'm pretty sure it's actually impossible. But now, if you do 150,000 damage, which is definitely possible, that's an average game more or less, then you'll max out the epic mod. So it makes a lot more sense to put it on ships you probably wouldn't put them on before, like ships like Yoshino here, because you know, earlier it was a little bit of a waste when you would only get it up to 2% and cut off maybe, you know, 0.3 seconds of your reload. Doesn't really matter much, but if you can max it out and cut off 2 seconds, well, that's a whole other ball game. So it's been kind of quiet around these epic mods lately. Like they were introduced and then we haven't really heard much about them until this like change in how they work. But we haven't gotten any more of them. And I'm still waiting for my epic rudder mod, Wargaming. I still don't know if that'll ever come, but that would be fun. I would like to have that. And I would like to have more of these mods, because right now we only have one of each, and like one, I always forget where it is, and two, you can only put it on one ship, obviously, and if you want to switch it to another ship, it costs you doubloons, which is fair enough, I guess, but still, I would love to see some of the other modules on ship get epic versions, and perhaps even legendary versions, who knows? Who knows if we are entering like kind of the Diablo area here, which I hope we are. But so far, no word on this really, and it's a bit of a shame, because it's a really good idea. I think it's one of the best ideas the Legends team have ever had, really. So I hope we're going to see a lot more about this, and hopefully very soon, because it's cool, and like I said, it's a really good idea. And as mentioned earlier, you know, by leveling the playing field like this, where, you know, the epic mods are triggered depending on your damage instead of what is basically your reload, it's a lot more fair, and you can use the mods on a lot more ships that, you know, earlier you wouldn't really think about using them on. For example, putting the reload mod on a battleship would also be a little bit of a waste, because how often do you get 250 hits in a battleship? That's fairly rare, at least for me. So that was Yoshino here, and as you can tell, we didn't even trigger the epic mod once in this game here. So definitely a change that I'm really happy about, and hope you enjoyed it. See you out there.